Mamo Mike here. Just having a little fun. I've been seeing some of these discussions on online about the flat Earth. And so please don't be offended if you're one of those people that believe in the flat Earth. But I'm just gonna do some counter arguments here, right? So they say if the Earth was flat, then how come there's no compensation by the pilots? If they kept going straight, they would travel off the Earth. Well, no, that's what gravity is for. So the altitude is relative to the core of the Earth, or the surface of the Earth, right? So obviously, if the plane is flying and the Earth curves, then the plane is maintaining the same distance relative to the surface of the Earth. So the plane doesn't need to curve. And anyway, if you look at the circumference of the Earth, which is almost 25,000 miles around, it would take you a very, very long distance before you felt even a slight curve. So it's basically negligible. Water can't curve because water finds its level area. Well, same thing. It's called gravity. Architects and engineers don't account for curvature. Well, why would you account for curvature? Because the surface of the Earth that you're on is relatively flat, because you're looking at a very, very tiny portion of the surface. It's like, picture a monster truck, right? A monster truck had these humongous tires. Now imagine a circle as big as like a monster truck tire. And you take 1 millimeter section of that. It looks flat, right? Because you can't see a curve on such a small section of such a large circle. It's kind of like getting an ant on top of a skyscraper and asking the ant, describe the shape of the skyscraper. Well, you can't see it. I mean, even a human can't see the shape of a skyscraper if you're on the skyscraper, right? You have to pull yourself way back. And to say, you know, balloons or whatever fly 20 miles up in the air and they could see, that's not high enough. That's not even close to being high enough to see a curvature. Just to give you an idea of a scale, if we look at the Earth being 25,000 miles around in circumference, you would have to travel 70 miles just to move one degree. And to give you an idea how small 1 degree is, if you look at 1 minute on a clock, right? You take 60 minutes and you multiply or divide that into 360 degrees. 1 minute is 6 degrees. So 6 degrees would be 420 miles. So it would take the equivalent of 420 miles just to move that 1 minute on the clock. That little bit of a rotation. So 20 miles is like 4 seconds on a clock. Like, that's how little you move. You can't even see it with the eye, and you're looking at a clock. If you're talking about the Earth, something such a large scale, you have to go way up high. We're talking like the distance of a continent to like be able to see a noticeable curve. Or maybe not that much, but you get the idea. To be like that far away from the Earth, you can't see anything. So to say you can't see it with the eye, so therefore it doesn't exist, it's everything's about scale. You know, if you're looking at a 1 millimeter section, if you're like an ant on top of a monster truck, you're not going to see the curve. It's just too small of an area. And as far as architects not accounting for the curve, well, when you're looking at such a small section, there is no curve. It's negligible, right? It's like what I just mentioned. If you move 70 degrees, that would be 70 miles. That would be 1 degree of rotation. Like, what building do you know goes for 70 miles? It's irrelevant. So these kind of arguments, I don't know where people come up with this, but it's kind of funny to me. If we were rotating, then the star patterns, the constellations would not be in the same place. Well, why not? Every morning you wake up, the sun's in the same place and the moon's in the same place, right? Relatively speaking. So there is some consistency. Somebody said, if you jump, if the Earth is moving 1,000 miles an hour, if you jump, how come the Earth doesn't move? Well, gravity. Same thing, like I said before, right? If you're on a bus or a train and you're traveling 70 miles an hour and you jump, do you move? No, right? Because you're traveling at the same speed as a train or the bus. So next. Anyway, if you look at the sacred geometry, if you look at flowers, if you look at the cells in our body, if you look at other planets, if you look at just the divine design of this physical reality that we live in, everything is based on circles, or what appears to be circles, right? So all sacred geometry is based on this circular thing. Even you look at droplets of water, they're circles. And so that is a natural way that things are shaped. So to think that all these planets, all these cells in our body, all these things at a microscopic level are round, and yet the Earth is flat. Well, if you get a pilot or somebody flies a plane around the world, they don't fall off the edge, right? They keep going in and come around the other side. Like, that's pretty straightforward. And that's also why you have time zones, right? So as the Earth rotates, the time changes, and as you move to a different zone, the time changes relative to the daylight. And so when you come the full 24 hours, you're back where you started. So there's no, like, point where the sun falls off the edge and shows up on the other edge. So there's probably a lot of other ones which I can't remember, but those are the ones that I just popped in my head. So there you have it. If you want to throw some comments there, or you have a rebuttal to that, go right ahead. Have fun.